All right, we're recording on this, and then Audacity is now recording as well. So three,
Same for me.
2, 1.
Oh, that's bad.
3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. All right, that's fine. That'll work.
That was bad.
That was so bad. The first one was awful. All right. Oh no.
Let's just get right into
Let's
it.
just do it. All right. We're back. It is episode 2. We made it back. It is your host BlaiseMcBaine, and with me, as usual, we have our co-host Swavage. And
Hello.
Swavage, how are you doing today, man?
Pretty good. Apparently my webcam mic is better than my actual mic, so I guess I'm gonna use that. I just hope I remember not to type.
Yeah, that was a wild experience starting this. I was like, wait, your audio is so much better. And then it's because you turned your webcam on, which is like very counterintuitive, but that's okay.
No, that was just what it started me on.
I don't know. That's wild. And we are testing some new recording software this week, so we're going to see how that goes. But let's hop right into our games of the week, and I'm going to let you start off because I get to play. You get to answer questions for me during my games.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. Uh, okay. So, there was that game where we were in it. I'm gonna go ahead and snag that before you do. I was playing Raijin mid. Blaze was playing Xing Chen support. We had a Nuwa solo, and we were like, well, this is sus. We're probably gonna lose. The Nuwa, surprisingly, did not int her brain out in lane and was actually a useful, functioning member of society, which is something you'd never expect from a Nuwa solo in your rank games. But you know, there was a time where everyone was kind of rotating over to solo lane, and I was like, enemies incoming, enemies incoming. This is bad. I'm not gonna rotate. But then I'm like, you know what? I just cleared wave. I don't have any buffs up on duo side. I'm gonna go over there and just wham bam, thank you ma'am, jump in there, press the 2-1 ult, got a quadra kill just off no brain Raijin. So I mean, you love to see it. That's just Raijin, I guess. I had a game where I played Chalk solo. The enemy team had a Chalk support. The enemy solo laner just kept running at me and dying. And then late into the game, I was just sitting up at their tier 2 tower with their Chalk support. We were both doing the Macarena. In case you didn't know, that's his dance emote. Yeah. We're just chilling there, and then all of a sudden their mid and I think their mid and jungle come up to me and start hitting me, and I just kill them both, and their Chalk's just doing the Macarena, and then I start doing it again, and then the other two come up, try to kill me, and I kill them both again. I was just kind of farming kills while I was just chilling with the Chalk. And they were like, report support for trolling. I was like, no, he's just chilling. You guys trolled. I'm like, oh wait, ADC, get that out of here. Overall, my game's been pretty good. I've surprisingly been winning ranked games somehow, so we take that. Those are my notables.
All right, here's the deal. That Jing Chen game was nuts. Look,
Mhm.
that's probably like some of the best support play I've ever had, and then it was just like Suave gets a quadra, Suave gets a triple, Suave gets a triple, and we just like ran that game.
I think I got 2 quads that game.
It was either 2 quads or 2 triples.
I
I don't
think I
know.
got
Like your
2 of
final score
both.
line was like 13, 4, and 18 or something. It was insane.
Yeah.
All right, so here's the deal, right? I'm gonna start it off. I'm gonna give you the teams, and I want you to tell me which team you thought won in this arena get match, and was it within 100 tickets? Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Team 1 is Ra, Hades, Nem, Ares, Heim.
Okay.
Team 2 is Achilles, Ymir, Zeus, Thor, Artemis.
Team 2.
You think Team 2 won?
I do.
Are you sure?
Well, apparently I'm wrong, but
No, you're
yes, that's
absolutely correct. Do you think it was
Oh,
with 100 points?
yeah, it's a Zeus, dude. You said Zeus, and I was like, they won.
Yeah, but do you think
Like,
it was? Do you think it was within 100 tickets?
no, I think Zeus made him rage quit. Were
It
you
would.
playing Zeus?
No, no. I was on Team 1.
Oh, who were
I,
you? The
I was
man?
I was the Heimdall,
Oh, at least you weren't the Hades.
and the final score was 232-0.
Okay.
So I start the game. I go over to buff camps, like you do in arena.
Yeah.
And I'm the only one there. For like the first, so I solo blue. I start red. There's still no one there. They're still in base, and I was like, okay, like what's happening here? And then next thing you know, the enemies are at my camps, and my team's trickling out of base. Here they come, and we just get mollywopped.
Oh
So
no.
so during the game, this only gets better. I'm gonna shout out this person. It's Monkey Time. DMs me and says, "Hey man, matchmaking's been really bad lately. Sorry it's like this for you." And this is the enemy Ymir. The only saving grace of this game was Thor decided that he could 1v1 me next to my fountain, and I did the Heim ult turn, and he landed inside my fountain and died because he didn't have hammer because he initiated with it.
Dude. Good
And
stuff.
the Ymir just goes, "Wow, I didn't even know you could do that in arena. That was pretty sick." Like, we have a full-fledged conversation about matchmaking and how bad like my team is compared to his, and the whole thing. I think out of all of it, so the final kill count was they had 43 kills to our 7. I had 3 of our kills, 3 of the 7 kills, and like because Thor was so mad about me ulting him into fountain, I died like 3 times just to him, so I had 6 of our 43 deaths. The only other person that was like doing okay was our Raw. Everybody else just got absolutely farmed. It was a fun game. Like, I thought it was funny just DMing with Ymir, but oh man, it was rough. And this led into Tuesday, Wednesday games of Conquest where I just had rough way to go. Tuesday I queued with someone, Gilly and Kenny, and they were doing okay. I was not. My only good game was that I played Kama jungle and just absolutely mopped the floor with people. But beyond that, like, it was just bad. And then I went into Wednesday, and again, it was just another bad night of Conquest. And at that point, I was really debating whether or not I wanted to play Conquest the rest of the week.
Oh no.
Which is probably, also due to the fact that I've been playing a very large amount of Wild Rift. So if you're into Wild Rift, it's a good game. Let me know. I'll queue with you. I've just been playing ranked and not being able to get to gold. But, eventually I'll make it through promos. But Thursday night, Swab was busy, but I did a coaching commentary for Split Push versus Ground BMB. Both teams that we know. I coach Split Push. Swab helps me with that. And then he works with Kenny coaching Ground BMB. So the games were actually like pretty solid. They're pretty close. I need to shout out Dan, Dirtnap Dan, because he played on her, and no lie, I have never seen someone ult as on her and almost hit every single javelin on every ult. Like, every ult was just disgustingly good. And then he played Apollo and he ran it down. Shout out to Embers. Embers hit a 3 or 4 man ult on Yanis.
Oh yeah, dude, that ult was sick.
I think I clipped it. Like, it was insane. Like,
it was with the Serb at the fire.
Yeah. I think Baseball was playing Serb.
It was Tom.
It was Tom. Okay, Tom was playing Serb, and oh my god, dude, like, it was just disgusting.
Kind of nuts.
Afterwards, I ran some Assault, and for those of you that don't know, I am not a fan of Assault, but I had really, really good Assault games Thursday and Friday night. My favorite part of that was we had like 2 games in a row where people got quads and we tried to get them pentas and couldn't. One of them is I tried to get Gilly a penta on Bacchus, but he ran out of mana, and that's why we didn't get it. It was a really sad time.
No.
There was a Nuwa game where I got Nuwa in Assault, but somebody wanted it, so I traded it, and this person had like some dummy amount of stars on Nuwa. And I don't even remember the build, but I just know they were not having a fun time. like we lost that game.
Yeah, I remember her, dude.
Yeah, it was so bad. I feel bad for that Nuwa.
I mean, but it's on her. She wanted to run the 5-man magical team.
Oh, that's right. That's what it was.
Why do you guys reroll? You can just build pen.
Yeah, you can
Like,
just build pin,
no,
and then she didn't build pin.
she didn't build any pen, and they stacked magic defense
Yeah.
anyways.
Oh my goodness.
Just build pen, Lamau.
And this led into Sunday. Probably my. I'm gonna call this. Is it? Yeah, I'm gonna call it the game of the week for me. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna queue a ranked game. I haven't played ranked in a bit because ranked has just been frustrating. I'm gonna queue ranked. I get Apollo. I'm not even first pick. I get Apollo. All right. The end of this game scoreline is 11-0-7, and I literally ran the game. Like, as soon as I got my ult, I was rotating to mid and frying people in mid. I was frying my opponent in duo lane. I was pulling objectives, and I did the cringe build right now, which is starting Death Toll into Devourer's Gauntlet, and then instead of doing the, I did Death's Tempered because I built crit, and man, that build slaps. My personal favorite part about that game was when we started though, Athena telling me and Ra what relics we need to build, and saying you need to get beads and shell, and I just responded with, who doesn't start the game with beads as carry? And she was like, some people do. And I was like, oh, what? No, like, look, if you're not starting beads right now and you're in carry, you should probably reevaluate your play,
If you don't
because
start the game with beads as a carry, you're starting it with med, and you're not gonna listen when someone tells you not to do that.
yeah, like you just need like, I don't know who's not buying beads as a carry, but if you're that person, you're listening right now, I promise it's the better start for relic choice.
If they literally have no CC on your side of the map, like if their solo laner is the only person on their team who has any crowd control, I'm talking like maybe, like their ADC has a slow, their support has a slow, like just a bunch of slows, then okay, fine, get an Aegis, but just get beats anyways.
Yeah, just get beads
It feels
first.
better. It
Like
feels better.
beads is
Beats
just
better.
better. It's just better.
It's so strong.
Um, and then last night we ran some conquest games, and we were slapping last night.
Hmm
We had queues with Liane, who is Bill. It was me, Suave. We picked up Gactyl at some point. We had Gilly at some point. We had I Crazy Dolphin at some point, and it didn't matter which of those games we were in. We were just like running it down. I think I played
hmm
like an Izanami. I played Izanami mid, Izanami carry, and then Donza carry, which I haven't played in a while because I fed my brains out on it last week. So I just took like a week off. Um, and all of those games felt good. I've been testing like starting Gilded Arrow again because I just really like that item. Like it's fun to play around. Whether or not it's the better choice, I think when we in next patch, which we'll talk about probably next episode, I do think it's viable. I think it's a good start. I don't think going into the crit upgrade is necessarily the best idea, which is what I did last night because I and here's the reason I did it is I looked at the enemy teams. They don't have thorns and they're all squishy besides the solo. Okay, then I'm gonna build crit and just watch you die. Um, and all those games felt good. Izanami feels really good right now. I told Suave earlier, like I have a hot take that I think Izanami, like I mean obviously she's easy to counterpick and I get that, but man, if you can play Izanami, she feels like she's like top 3, top 5 hunter right now. Like after Donza Apollo. Like her 1v1 and even 2v2 potential is just very, very good. I know she has a harder time bringing things to team fight where like Cupid has a giant ult, on her has Pillar and has a really good ult, things like that, but man does she feel good to play. Uh Other than that, do we have anything else we want to add games wise,
Oh,
Suave?
I forgot that it happened this week. Yeah, in case you haven't checked it out, go to my Twitter, SwaveHCF, or go to my YouTube channel. And I know I should have probably started recording the second I noticed it, but I had this guy, he was zooming. He was playing Cupid solo. I got a DM from the enemy support like maybe 6 minutes into the game. He's like, "Did you notice your solo speed hacking?" I'm like, I mean, I don't know if he's speed hacking. He's fragging, so he might just be better. And then I look at my mini map. Well, not even at my mini map. I just kind of watched him. and it looked like he was taking maybe two, three, four, maybe five steps before a dash, and then after, like at least the ground he was covering within a dash. And I was like, that's kind of suspicious. Basically, late game, he just like he spawned. He was at the enemy Phoenix in like maybe 6 seconds tops. Like he was teleporting everywhere, and I was like, all right, well, this is cool. I was just kind of chill. Like my support and I saw that he was doing that, so we were just kind of sitting under mid Phoenix, just chilling, because we were like, the team doesn't want to F6, so we're just not gonna play. Like we're gonna defend the Titan and stuff, but we're not gonna push. We're not gonna do anything aggressive because that's just scummy. Like if this Cupid wants to win the game by speed hacking, he can do it on his own.
This is
Um,
like I don't know if you ever watched like Fall Guys, but when you realize there's a hacker in Fall Guys and everybody just works against him, like so he can't win. This is a
yeah,
very similar moment.
shout out to the enemy ADC dude. He was like 10-2, and his only deaths were to the speed hacking Cupid. Like this Cupid literally phased through us, like each of us, at least once on his way out of the base late game. He kited the Titan around. He was just teleporting, like out of the autos. Like you can see him just like flickering around the Titan room on the mini map. It wasn't like the movements, like his icon would be like on the right side, and then on the left side, and then on the right side, and then on the top, and then on the bottom, and he was like running through people doing stuff like that. The Artemis ulted him point blank, and he didn't get hit. Like he just teleported outside of the range. Like it was kind of crazy. Um, and then High Res emailed me back. They returned, or they took my what's it called,
Match ID.
my report. Yeah, they took the report because I reported it on the website as well. And I was like, hey, this is an issue. This is a guy you need to get out of your game. And then they were like, yeah, we take this seriously. We're gonna look into it. And I was like, yep. They're
Yeah,
like
that's sick.
they're gonna see the video, and they're gonna be like, well, we don't need to see anymore. That's
Yeah,
about it for me.
that's one thing that I think people don't realize is like you can reach out to high res, whether it be like an Olympian or through the support site, and like things like that they do take seriously. Like, those people do get banned. Um, so like if you ever see anything like that, like record the match ID. If you can get a clip, that's even better. But if you record the match ID and you submit it, like they go and look at that thing and do take it seriously.
And if you have video proof, that helps a lot as well.
Yeah.
Anything to make their job easier.
So that wraps up our games of the week. And now we're going to move on to our topic of the week. And each week, and we talked like last week, it was more like Smite related. This week, it's not. Our topic of the week that we're going to talk about for gaming is tips for ranked. And this goes like a variety of different ways. I think you could talk about like for yourself, but also how to deal with like toxic teammates and so on and so forth. And the one thing, I guess, and we could talk about several different tips here, but the one thing I always like to bring up to people, and I did this with my duo partner Dirtnap Dan last season, is if someone's tilting out of their mind in your rank game in the chat, or someone's feeding in your game, the worst thing that you can do is type to them in chat and it be something with a negative connotation. Because, for instance, if you have like let's say your carry's feeding, they're like 0-6. Going in the chat and calling them a trash can, which is things that we all see in our games. I saw that in my Wild Rift ranked game today. It was way worse than that, but nonetheless, it's one of those things that happens. You did nothing to help that person, and they're on your team. Like, the biggest thing you could do for them is be like, hey, man, maybe it's, I'm going to come over and try to help you or try to play back if you can. Good job there, like helping in the team fight. You helped us out a lot. Like, try to like boost them up in any way, shape, or form, because their mental is shot.
Mm-hmm.
And when their mental gets shot and you start getting upset about them being 0-6, your mental ends up shot, and then no one's happy. Everybody's losing at that point. And if you win, it's by some miracle that the enemy team threw. I think that's one thing that when people talk to me about ranked, that's the one thing I think that could drastically help people is when you're talking to your teammates, there's no reason to go to the negative portion of that. As soon as you get negative, you have ruined the experience for yourself and everybody else. I don't know how you feel about that, Suave, or if there's something you want to add on to that. But that's my like one big thing before we talk about some other stuff.
Yeah, I basically like when I'm in a ranked game and I'm with someone who's either being really toxic to everyone else for no reason, like blaming everyone for their own mistakes, or if someone's just like dying on cooldown and it looks like they're dying on cooldown and they're not trying to like not die, they're taking dumb fights, etc., not farming, stuff like that. I give it a few times, like it happens once, unfortunate, happens to the best of us, happens twice, okay. But when it starts becoming a repeat offense, I'll bring it up in chat like, hey, you good? Something like that. And then if they respond to me like, yeah, just out of it, or first game of the day, or whatever, like, if they don't sound toxic, I'm like, okay, we're chilling, bad game, unfortunate, we can come back from this. But if they say like, this is all your fault, you didn't give me the XP for this, and you took my kill, and and jungle diff and mid diff and support diff, like that's when I'm kind of done. And then I wait a few more times after they start blaming me, and then I just go ham on them. Because
I
at
mean,
that
even
point, they're annoying everyone on your team. They're not doing anyone any good. Just be like, hey, everyone mute them. And then if they keep BMing me, I'm like, hey, you're the problem, not me.
yeah, as soon as people get like super negative like that, like there's a mute button in the game for a reason, and don't be afraid to use it. Like I'm to blame for this too, that I think, wow, they could actually say something useful at some point during the game. They're not going to. They're not. They are going to continue to be toxic, and is that one moment of, hey, their ult's down, or these beads are down, is that really going to save the game when they've been toxic the rest of the time? And the answer is probably not, and they're probably not going to do that. You're better off just hitting the mute button and move on. So that's one thing I always like to bring up, because I think that's actually I think what scares people away from ranked is people's attitudes and how like seriously they take it. And it's something as easily fixed as just hitting the mute button,
Mm-hmm.
or trying to spin it in a positive way. I've always tried to approach things like there's always a silver lining, and maybe it's you learn that, okay, I play with a toxic person that game, and at least I learned to deal with it better that game. Like if that's the positive you took out of it, like that's still an acceptable positive. My next tip for ranked that I want to bring up is know how to play all the roles. And I'm not saying all the roles like competently, like you have to know every god in and out, but like it's specifically in MOBAs, right? You should have a character, a god, a champion that you can play in each role that fits that role. So, for instance, like our new WA solo the other day, thank God that worked out. But like, you should have like a solo laner you feel good on. You should have a support you feel good on. A carry, a mid, so on and so forth. Like, make sure you have at least one. Possible two feels really good, but we've ran into issues this season where like we had a kept free one game. I remember like this is like over a month ago that he asked us every single item to build and like
And
how
then
to
that
play kept free
Sobek.
and how to play, or maybe it was Sobek and
No, it
then
was the Sobek who kept asking who to pluck, and then they'd
oh
already like
yeah,
won the team fight by the time he finished typing.
okay, there's that guy, and then there's the kept free that asked what to build. But like, and that's
Uh-huh.
okay. Like, if you don't know, ask. Like, that's the biggest thing. Like, especially in lobby chat, which I'll get to in a second before the game starts. But like, have a character champion or something that you feel comfortable on, at least one in each role. Along with that, if you get a role you're not good at, there's this thing called lobby chat. Use it. Like,
Don't just
besides
try to spam trade.
yeah, spam trade, like people aren't gonna want to do that. Just be like, hey, I'm not good at this role. Can anybody trade me? Or is there any way I can play carry? I'm really bad at solo. I feel more inclined to trade with you if you're at least gonna talk to me about it. And here's the thing: if you're gonna spam in the post game in the pregame lobby, or you're just gonna take the role and then be toxic in the in like during the in game and post game lobbies, like you not talking in pregame lobby doesn't allow you to be a keyboard warrior later on because you didn't want to take the time to talk to us and like ask a question. So that's one thing I always like preach. Like if you get a role you don't know, ask for a different role. If it doesn't work out, make sure you have a role or a character you can play in each role. Is there anything you want to add on to that, Suave? Or
Yeah,
do you have one tip you want to add on as well?
I would go a little bit further than that. I'd say have one meta pick for each role and one pocket pick for each role, you know? Because your meta pick is the pick you're probably going to go if it's open. Let's say if that's Guan Yu solo, chances are it's going to be banned. So
Right.
you need that like not like C tier character who you can just whip out, you know. Um, but someone who's like middle of the pack. Like if you're a mid laner, maybe have a Scylla and have an Agni. No one's gonna ban Agni. Agni fits into all comps. You're never gonna feel bad picking an Agni. So when your better pick is out, you still have a fallback. So I'd say have one meta and one pocket pick.
And I would say in Smite right now, there are so many good picks. Like you're gonna
Oh yeah.
get something in at least one of the roles, and that's not the same case for every game. But like in Smite specifically, there are so many good picks in each role right now. Like you could pick one that's not S tier and be okay.
hmm
I think that's a very viable thing. Do you have a tip that you want to add on besides those two, Swaff?
Play what you're good at. Don't feel like you have to play a character that you're not good at because people tell you that they're OP. Don't feel like you have to play a play style that you're not comfortable with. You know, if your team's like, you need to be here, you need to be there, be like, hey, I'm not comfortable with that. I'm a ward. I'm gonna do my calls, but I'm gonna sit back and chill. You know, you got to do you because at the end of the day, winning ranked, that's on you. You can't. I'm not saying don't trust your teammates, but you can't trust your teammates to play how you want them to. So you've got to kind of prepare in your mind how you're gonna do it and how you're gonna make sure that your teammates have no choice but to play the way you want them. If you're playing support, you know, make sure that your mid laner is close to you and make sure that they're in range to hit targets that you CC. And even if they don't feel comfortable following up on you the first or second time, you know, which they probably will, if they don't, they'll see that you're consistently doing this and not getting mad at them, and they'll start following up on you. Like that's happened to me a lot. You can carry pretty well from support if you play like an Athena. You know, if you know how to taunt, you just blink in, taunt. Eventually, your teammates are gonna be like, "Wow, this guy's sick nasty with the taunts. I'm gonna follow up on that. Free damage."
You could have named any actual good support, and you named Athena, and I am offended.
See,
Athena is for the birds. Athena is for the birds.
we
Jing
just embracing
Chen,
this now. Are we just embracing this now?
no, yeah, I am. But I mean,
Okay.
Ganesha, Jing Chen,
Anyone,
Ymir.
anyone.
I don't know. I'm just tired. I'm tired of seeing Athena in my games.
I'm happy when I see an Athena and they do well, but I don't like seeing it picked in general. Not in my
Yeah,
games. You can pick it all you want in your games, not in Blazes.
yeah. Please leave it out of my games, please.
That being
Um,
said, if you run into Blaze solo queuing and ranked, please just slam an Athena any role. Just do it
wow,
anyways.
toxic. I'm gonna run into like an Athena ADC one day, and I'm like, oh,
Let's
great.
go. Let's
They
go, dude.
they pop off.
That's it.
Good for them if that happens.
Oh man,
Um,
shout out to old Tommy K, Tommy
oh,
K 382 running the Athena Odin duo lane back in season 4.
oh God.
Those guys killed it.
You know what? And to go based off of like how you're talking about like don't play something you're uncomfortable with. Perfect example of this is last season. I'm queuing ranked, and Bill goes, you should pick Cthulhu here, and I'm like, I don't think you know how bad I am at Cthulhu. Like I am bad, like, and not just like by like a little bit, by a lot. Like it's not even funny how bad I am at that god. And he goes, no, it can't be that bad. And I was like, all right, I'll pick it. You tell me what to build, and we'll just see how it goes. He goes AFK. He goes AFK and comes back like literally as I'm losing the game, and it's like, oh, how'd it go? I'm like, terrible. Like I said it was going to. Like I am bad at this god, and I fed my brains out. I don't even remember what the scoreline line. It was something like I was like 3-11. It just did not feel good. Um, Definitely pick things that you feel comfortable on. Don't feel like it's necessary to like change the way you play because of picks on your team. And that's not saying like pick something that doesn't fit your team comp whatsoever. Like you definitely want to pick something that fits the team comp as much as you can, but like just because a Cthulhu seems really good doesn't mean that Cthulhu's the best pick for you. Um, Definitely go into. I guess my last tip for ranked that I have off the top of my head is when you go into ranked, like make sure you're in a good mental state because you're gonna see things that don't make sense. You're gonna deal with some toxic people, and that's okay. Like find a good playlist, find a good like album, put it on. It doesn't have to be on loud. Just put it on, and go vibe out. Have a ranked partner. That actually helps a lot because maybe one of you is doing well and the other one isn't. Maybe you're both doing bad, but at least you're in it together. Like there's several options there of things that can happen. So like you definitely want to, if you can queue with somebody, I would definitely recommend it. Smite you can only duo queue, but games like League and there's several others you could do like 5-man queues and so on and so forth. So I think that's definitely worth mentioning.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, or you can just be like me, just simply don't have wrinkles on your brain, and then nothing your teammates do will surprise you. You might be alone and still vocalize like, why does my duo lane have two meds? Why do they have a mana chalice and a warding chalice right out of the base? Like things you see in ranked, like Blaze said, they don't make sense. People don't make sense. I'm not gonna get into my people are stupid rant, okay? I feel like I do that too much already. Maybe we'll save that for another time. I don't remember if I did it in episode 1, but it's not gonna be an every episode kind of thing. I'll spare you guys from it. Just expect to be surprised. I go into my ranked games at this point fully expecting to lose. I'm not trying to lose. I'm trying to win. I'm playing like I'm gonna win, but I'm expecting my teammates to lose and get frustrated. So I have a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Um,
we go in there with like with a good mentality of low expectation, good
Blaze
results.
gets frustrated, and I'm like, dude, I'm just laughing. I'm just laughing over here. I'm having the time of my life. I'm watching my jungler go like 0-6 by 3 minutes. Like I'm vibing. I'm laughing. I'm enjoying myself.
That's actually a
This
sad
is
fact
true.
that has happened. Like that's the sad part.
Blaze
I
gets frustrated and he's like, "Why can't he just like know what he's doing?" I'm like, "Dude, you're expecting too much out of our bronze games."
Oh my god, and we're not even in. Oh my
Unfortunate.
god, dude. Remember when we were almost in plat? Oh, that felt
Yes.
good. Uh, and then we fell
Poor
hard.
poor Bats, dude. Bats just like got on a losing streak. He wasn't even playing poorly. He just got diffed. He just got
Yeah,
team diffed.
he got
But
high
like
risked.
but like I think 10 plus games in a row, so he's under 1k. He's under 1k MMR
Oh
off getting
no.
team diff. Yeah, I looked at his profile. It's not his fault either. Like
Oh
you
dude,
hate to
that's
see it.
tough.
Like
Um,
Ajax, can you give him some love? Can you give him some good teams instead?
Dude, it's not just Smite. I've been having the same issue with Wild Rift. Like I've been doing my ranked matches and you sometimes just get people that say wild things or do wild things and then
I
you're just
get
like,
it.
okay. But I did your comments from your last tip over there led me to one more that
Okay.
needs to be mentioned, and this one is a very important one. Like this is the number one tip for ranked.
Okay. Heavy with that.
It's one word. Are you ready for this?
Okay.
Wards. You should you
Wait,
should
but
you should
but
buy
why?
them and you should
Why?
place them because
Why?
wards win games.
No, no, they don't. I win
Because
games.
because of vision. And if you want proof, last night we got Raw on a ward with their carry in left lane, and I called go fire now, and the enemy team had no idea, and it was all because of wards.
Big
Like
brain McBaine.
wards, just buy them. In Smite, there's Oracle Chalice. Like it's really good. It's 400 gold, so that means like if you place 8 wards throughout the game after you get it, you've made your money and back. I'm just saying. I think it's a
And
good investment.
and don't forget, buying words does not increase your stat. placing them is what matters.
Oh yeah.
So please place them. Don't be the guy who sits with two wards in his hand for like 10 minutes and still gets ganked and dies and complains and says we need wards. Dude, you've been sitting there with your wards. You can just stop. I'm enjoying myself over here watching you die with wards in your hand. I don't care if we lose. I'm expecting it. I have you on my team.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, or you get the 10-minute FF, you see the post game
Oh
lobby
yeah.
screen, and they have 0 wards. You
Oh
get
yeah.
free wards. They're free. Like
Yeah.
you get free ones now.
Shout out to Vision Shard.
Yeah. So like, I'm just saying, wards are your
Vision.
friend. That's my public service announcement. It's the number one tip for ranked. Place wards. That's what I got.
Yeah.
Do you have anything you want to add, Suave, or do we want to move on to our random question of the week?
I think we've covered everything
All
important.
right. Sick. Random question of the week. I thought of
Okay.
this the other day. What is your coffee shop order? Now, it could be
Okay.
Starbucks. It could be, I have like a place in town I go to. It could be Dunkin', whatever. If you want to talk about a few of them, you can. But what is your coffee shop order?
Okay. So, my ex worked at Starbucks, so she gave me a notepad. I used that for a bit, but now I'm kind of on my own. I was always I was always told that hazelnut is the worst. It's the worst syrup at Starbucks. I was like, okay, I took it as fact. And then one day I'm like, you know what? I'm going here like every day. Like I don't care. I can make myself coffee at home if I don't like it. I'm gonna try it. So basically, what I've been working with at Starbucks recently has been either an grande iced coffee or grande iced americano with hazelnut and sweet cream cold foam. No classic in the iced coffee. Classic's just it's just sugar, just pumps of sugar syrup. So I get the hazelnut instead of that. I've been liking it. I've been liking it a lot. You know, I've been trying to get better at just drinking black coffee. Like I can handle it, but like why would I do that to myself if I don't have to?
Right, right, right.
At Dunkin', I just get a medium caramel iced or a medium iced coffee with caramel cream and sugar. If I'm going to Dunkin', I'm not expecting to get something healthy, so why would I why would I bother? And then at home, when I'm making myself coffee, I just make my dad gets this um like not like iced coffee mix, but it's just like jugs of iced coffee, both regular and mocha. So I make myself some espresso and then I pour that. So it's like half and half with some over some ice, and I just drink that at 4.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so I have a few. Because I am like a coffee connoisseur. I love it. I love it.
Okay.
All right, so we have a place in town. It's a family-run place called Lassiter's. If I go there, I just get a house blend, cream and sugar, and that's it. And then when I go to Starbucks, it depends how I'm feeling. A lot of times, I get a mocha or I get a peppermint mocha with like one less pump of mocha and one less pump of syrup, so it's not too sweet. Because I feel like the mocha syrup they use just gets like overwhelming in taste.
It does.
But I used to order, and I don't like white chocolate a lot. It's too sweet for me. But you can get like white chocolate with like cinnamon dolce syrup, and it tastes like a snickerdoodle, and it's really really good. Um, I don't get regular coffee at Starbucks because they typically burn the beans, and I can just make that at home and not burn them. So when I'm at home, I make French press or I make mochas, varieties of mochas, and then I have a mocha pot which I haven't tried yet, and I'm
Hmm.
curious to try that at some point. If I go to Dunkin', I just get a coffee, cream and sugar. I'm like you, like I could drink straight black coffee, but like I could also take the edge off and like
Yeah.
make it more enjoyable. There was actually a time where like I felt like they changed their coffee
From where
and from Dunkin'. Like
they
recent, it
did,
was
they
yeah,
did, they
they
did.
changed it, and I actually
Basically,
couldn't drink it. It actually made me
basically,
sick.
basically, what happened? If like someone told me this, they raised all the prices on their menu across the country by like 1 cent, and like they sell an absurd amount. So that 1 cent per per item, you know, it's huge. I think they switched to like better sustainable straws. They switched to a better coffee bean, or like more sustainable, better, better
Yeah,
farmed stuff
I
like
got you.
that. Like they just upgraded the quality of everything. So that's cool. That's really good for to see out of a business. And as far as the mochas from Starbucks go, I feel like whenever I get a mocha from Starbucks, it's not necessarily, it's not the after, I guess it's kind of the aftertaste. It's like the aftertaste, and then the syrup kind of leaves like a film in the inside of my mouth. I
Yeah,
don't know
that's why
if
I get
you get
it
that.
with less. That's why I get it with less pumps of mocha.
Yeah, I was
It's
just trying to
because
make
it's
sure
just
we're on
too
the same
much.
page. Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree.
and then if I want something cold, I get a mocha cookie crumble frappuccino, and those slap.
Gotcha.
If you haven't
They
had
do.
one of
Oh
those,
yeah, they do.
they're really good.
They
They
do.
used to do a cinnamon roll one too, which is also really
Probably on
good.
the
But
probably secret menu item.
I think, well, it's like during the summer, like it's like a when they I don't
Um,
remember whenever they do their little frappuccino event.
I
But
gotcha.
that's all my different coffee rundowns. Like I when I talk about French press, like I mean I have it down to a system where like I set a timer for like after the water boils. All right, like it is a process because my wife bought me a coffee book, and like it's like you should let your water sit for 2 minutes after you boil it, and then you should pour in your ground beans and like pour the water over the top of it, and you should let that sit for 4 minutes with the top of the French press on it. I'm talking like it is an elaborate process. It actually takes me like a full 10 to 15 minutes to make a French press coffee,
Jeez,
but
you're
it's so
nuts.
delicious. I'm drinking one right now. It's so good,
Oh, oh,
so good.
it's a little late for that.
That's fine. I was up till 2 a.m. last night, so you know we're sending it.
Who
We're sending it.
cares? Full send.
Full send.
I was working at a little coffee shop, a little Cuban coffee place, with an old timey big metal espresso machine, dude. It was fun. Besides the language barrier of me not being fluent in Spanish, like I can understand things and I can speak it a little bit, but not like restaurant fast. So like I just spoke in English, and then let's see, yeah, I was just making espresso. So I had a lot of fun with that. Coffee shop's fun to work at. Also, it's nice to take a morning shift there because you get free coffee and breakfast,
Yep.
like no matter what one you work at. If you work at Starbucks, I believe you get a free drink every break you go to. You get a food item every lunch break you take. You get one of those per shift, depending on how long the shift is, maybe none. And then every day, I believe, since quarantine started, you've gotten a free drink and a free food item, just like on days you don't work. So that's kind of cool.
That is pretty dope.
I'd recommend going for a Starbucks job if you like coffee.
Actually, I have one other thing to add on. There was a place called Mag's Coffee where I used to work, and they made sausage croissants, and my buddy worked there.
Ooh.
And I was like, I need to know, like, what are in these croissants? And I've actually, what's crazy is like they ended up closing down, but I actually made my own version of them that is better than
Mm-hmm.
the ones there. And like, if you need a sausage croissant recipe, you hit me up. I got you. And you
Screw
can
the recipe, dude. I'll PayPal you $20. Just mail me a dozen.
this value doesn't.
Straight up.
Oh, dude, they're so good. All right, well that's our random question of the week, and we do have a couple plugs we're gonna do for some things going on in the Smite world. Also, shout out because I remembered this week and I forgot last week, and I'm sorry, Gilly. But shout out to Gilly. He did make our logo. I think there's like one or two edits that's gonna come through on that, but he did make our logo. It's pretty sick. It's what I wanted it to be. So shout out to him for that. Along with that, our friend Kenny Alpha, who is part of Asgard Akami with me, and Suave's on the Asgard Akami Smite team with me, is hosting a 2v2 assault tournament that is going to take place on April 24th. I forgot the time on that. But if you
It
need,
starts at 8 p.m. Eastern.
okay, 8 p.m. Eastern, me and Suave will be there. Come find us.
We're farming wins from you guys, so
Yeah.
feel free to come in and take an L.
Farming wins and winning the prize money, okay?
Oh yeah.
Um,
Oh
but
yeah.
go check that out. I'll try to get a link for it in the description. If not, go to Asgard Akami's Twitter, or if you check Up Your Experiences Twitter, I think I might have retweeted it. If not, I'll get that retweeted at some point. But there's signups for that. If you're looking for, to fulfill some competitive Smite, Albion Giants League is doing signups for their season 6. I mentioned during the first episode that I'm a commissioner for that. There's going to be some changes next season I can't talk about yet, but
Ooh.
signups are coming and they're already out. Go sign up. There's plenty of space available. And where there's not, they're going to do relegations. So again, you can get, if you want to try out Comp Smite and have a possibility at winning some gems, go check that out. You can feel free to ask me questions, or I can put you in contact with people that might know a little bit more than I do. But you should go check that out as well. Other than that, I don't think we have anything else that we need to shout out, do we, Suave?
Shout out to Bill for always reminding Twitch chat to slam a Twitch Prime sub.
Oh yeah, ask him for the primers in the chat on my stream.
Yeah,
Twitch.tv/BlaiseMcBaine, just in case you're wondering.
If there are any primers listening to this podcast who saw their Twitch Prime sub, feel free to slam that on your pal BlaiseMcBaine.
And I do want to. I'm going to sign us off with. I posted the link for Podbean last week. That was our main source for the podcast. If you do enjoy listening on Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, or Spotify Podcast, you can go find us in all those places. We are there.
We're up, baby.
We're up and going. We're gonna keep doing this. You should check out the Twitter. It is up, UpUrXP. You should go find that, and I've been posting stuff on there about like questions you guys might want us to answer. Things of that nature, different topics you might want us to talk about. Go check us out there, and I hope you all have a great week. And I'm signing out. Suave, do you have anything you want to say as we leave?
Peace out. Have a great rest of your week. Don't feed in your rank games.
Bye.
Bye.